This is a cracking little video. This is how you can demonstrate relative density with sugar, a glass vase, a little bit of water and a suitable solid. What I want you to be considering in this video whilst we watch this is the biogeochemical cycle. This demonstrates how it is that we have a gradient inside a container. The water represents the medium that we are in, the air. I know it's liquid. We are in a medium that is considered to be fluid because it behaves just like fluid, but it's very easy for us to show stuff that rises and falls in water. When the sugar is put into the water begins to dissolve the sugar. As the sugar dissolves, pressure starts to increase along the bottom edge, because that's why you've got to stir your cup of coffee, right? Because if your sugar's dissolved and it's all sweet at the bottom, but it's not sweet at the top, you've got to stir it to get it to mix all up, right? Well, we're going to see how the dissolution rate of sugar causes an increase in pressure below the capsule, and that increase in pressure below the capsule pushes against all surfaces. You can see that the container has got rigid surfaces. There's no flex, but you can also see that the ability to move for the capsule is the reason why the pressure pressing against it causes it to accelerate. So if you believe that gravity is a force, even though it tells you everywhere in physics today that it isn't a force, but if you still hold on to that fiction, then the gravity in here has not changed, yet we see an acceleration. Because the gravity was constant from the moment the sugar got stopped adding to everything that we're talking about now. The gravity did not change. It changed initially when the sugar was put in, but it isn't changing now. It's still the same. Yet we are seeing an acceleration. We can explain this simply by the dissolution of the sugar increases the pressure pushing against the sides of the container and the surfaces of the container itself, the thing that we're looking at. And you guys can't explain this because gravity stopped working the moment the sugar was put in. Not only did gravity stop working when the sugar was put in, it's again going up towards the less dense. Now when I say up, of course up is a relative direction only to the human. The units in question in this video are clearly towards the less density, or the less pressure caused by the density change. You are literally seeing relative density overriding gravity because gravity stopped working some time ago. And gravity isn't a force. So in the real world, the increase in pressure at surface level, the thing that it's stood on right now, is where we stand. Powered by the sun, everything is caused, all the gas pressure, the gradient, is all caused at sea level or ground level. The hydrological cycle, the carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, the this, that and the other cycle, all powered by the sun, all created at ground level, all creates the gradient within inside a container. This video cannot be created without the container. It doesn't matter whether you use the ocean, because that's a container, it's contained by the walls, the shoreline, or whether you use something in the vomit comet, you still need a container to demonstrate that this stuff is caused. This is where the pressure comes from. We can demonstrate A, how the gradient's formed, and B, it needs a container for it to happen. But C, we can also show that gravity stopped working some time ago, even though it's not a force anyway, and this is still acting right now. There is no explanation for this from the gravity side, because gravity isn't a force, and even if it was, it stopped acting ages ago. The only explanation is relative density, and the disequilibrium caused by the slow, gradual dissolution of the sugar into the medium, increasing the pressure, and now we have liftoff. It's a very slow liftoff, but nonetheless we can see that the thing begins to lift. Gravity isn't pulling on the medium, Gravity's not pulling on anything. This video again debunks the claim of gravity and reinforces the real world, everyday observations that we see. We can cause acceleration on Earth, and we do not need gravity to do it. And that's even if it does exist. Where's the downward bias now, Bob? Nothing is going down. Everything's already down. The sugar's dissolving. But there's definitely an upward bias there, isn't there? Have a really great day.